Welcome back to the Weekend Warrior Show Recap Podcast. I'm Tyler from the Unemployed Architects. This week I'm going to be talking about this last weekend in Davenport, Iowa. We had our last two-night show over there for a while. When I pulled in, it was super flooded. It's been raining pretty much nonstop for the past probably, feels like a month, but I don't know exactly how long, at least a couple weeks. But it was pretty flooded there in Davenport, but luckily hadn't gotten all the way to Kilkenny, so we still had our show and everything. It kind of rained during the shows as well, but I think people are kind of used to it, so that didn't really deter people from coming out. Anyway, the first night was just Lo and I. I pretty much did the same setup as usual. So I had the two 12-inch altos and a couple floor altos and a Yamaha. I brought 3 monitors because I knew Dave was coming the second night. And, I mean, it sounded fine. It was good Lo was there because she pointed out a couple things that I probably wouldn't have noticed if it was just me by myself. Got there early, probably around 7, set up till about 8:30, got everything going. I would say that mostly this night was pretty uneventful. It wasn't super busy, wasn't super dead. It was just pretty standard over there. It sounded, I feel like, pretty good for the first. Usually Fridays are a little bit rougher than the Saturdays, but this week it was kind of reversed. But anyway, so, and the last 20 minutes were probably the most fun because that's when everybody and their brother gets there, and they're really, they're drunk at this point and, really into like singing along and stuff and dancing. So last 20, 30 minutes, and I played a little extra just because it's hard to quit when you're actually like the crowd's digging you and you're having fun. But anyway, so then the second night, Dave came. I don't know what I did to the sound this night. It was a little bit rougher. I think my kick drum was probably too loud. But I put my kick drum through the PA because I wanted Dave to be able to kind of play off of it. So I thought it would help us, but I think ultimately it kind of hurt us. He was I had mic'd him up and put him in the mix too loud as well, and then my kick drum was too loud, so it was just kind of hard to hear. It felt like every set I didn't really get comfortable till about halfway through the set, but couldn't really grab the room this night either. I don't know if it was just the songs I was I mean, there were a few people that came there specifically to see us, which was cool. But yeah, so I mean, it was a tough night, I would say. But after, one of the best things about doing shows, I feel like, is like right after you're done on a long weekend, and you finish that second or third or fourth show, and you like completed all of them, and you got paid for all of them, and everything may not have went exactly how you wanted it, but just the fact that you completed it and it's like over and done, it's just like such a good feeling. But anyway, so yeah, I couldn't really grab the audience, and I just couldn't really get I got a little bit in my groove, but it wasn't like as good as I wanted to. And there just wasn't like, usually there's that last 20 to 30 minute payoff when I'm playing all the crowd favorites, and I just didn't really have that on Saturday night for some reason. But anyway, Dave brought some of his friends down, and we were hanging out after, and there was a guitar. His twin brother Jimbo brought his guitar, which is like kind of a, not the nicest. The action's about an inch high on it, I think. But anyway, so I ended up playing a little bit for Dave and Jimbo's friends, and then a couple people in the bar that live above the apartment that the bar supplies us kind of heard us. The door was open, and they just kind of walked in. So I ended up playing guitar for probably 2 extra hours that night, and even though the guitar wasn't like the best or anything, I sounded pretty good, and I kind of could experiment a little bit more because it wasn't like a show. So, tried some weird songs out. I was doing a lot of the songs that they were requesting, and even if I didn't know them, just kind of winging some of them. And some of them I hadn't played in probably 2 or 3 years or something, or maybe even longer. So it was fun to kind of whip those out. But that was kind of the payoff, I think. I just I was having a lot of fun afterwards, just kind of jamming. So yeah, that was and we ended up staying probably, I think, till a little after 5 is when we left, 5 a.m., because I didn't want to stay there that night, and didn't get home till, I would say, probably like 7:45, and then, Sunday was just all day sleeping, essentially. And then I had Monday off with Memorial Day, so that was kind of nice, kind of caught up a little bit more. So that was this last weekend. This coming weekend's going to be pretty crazy. I got Thursday at the Clark Bar in Champaign, Friday at Dr. McKay's here in Bloomington, and then Saturday I actually have 2 shows. I have the Kankakee Farmers Market in the morning, and then Saturday night I play at PK's. So it is a full weekend. So that is what I'm going to be talking about next week. Hopefully it all goes smoothly. I think I'm going to really have to focus on taking the full amount on the breaks, because a lot of times, during breaks, I'll either come back early or I just will play through when everybody else takes a break. I'll just keep playing songs, but I'm going to have to be, pretty cautious as far as my voice goes, because this is going to be a lot of singing. And then the next weekend I got a lot too, so I got 3 shows down in Champaign the next weekend. So just kind of really kind of saving my voice is going to be kind of the name of the game, and just, being strict about drinking a lot of water and taking breaks and warming up and all that stuff. So it'll be interesting. My next podcast should be a little bit more interesting than this one, since this was just Davenport, and this is, a pretty classic one I've done. I think I've done maybe 4 or 5 podcast about Davenport, because it's a pretty regular show. But this next week, it's like when you book these shows, you don't really think too hard into them. I remember booking the farmers market for Saturday morning, because I already had the PK show booked, and I was like, that'll be cool, I'll have 2 in a day. And then I get the Friday night show booked at McKay's after that, and then a few weeks later I had a reschedule for the Clark Bar that I picked a couple dates for, and kind of was doing it on the fly, and I just did not put it together when I was, it wasn't like I put it together all in one setting, like this is going to be my plan for the booking. It was like they just all those shows just kind of fell in the right places. So I'm feeling like this week is going to be kind of a long one, but at least it's doing something I like. So a lot of driving too this week, and I'm a little bit nervous about PK's, because the last time I played there was my family came, that was about it. So I'm hoping to bring some extra people out for that, because that was kind of brutal last time. And I know Blair's been playing there a lot, so I don't know if that takes away from my draw a little bit too. It probably does, but so I don't know. I don't even know if they're going to really want me to keep playing over there, because it seems like at least the last time was just rough as far as the turnout goes. But we'll see. Hopefully either it'll randomly be good, or a bunch of my friends will show up, something like that, one of those, and then I can be more positive about future PK shows. I don't even know if I have any more booked, honestly. I'm going to have to look into booking some more, I think, when I finally do get there. But again, if it's a bad turnout for my second time, it's going to be hard to be like, hey, you should have me back. But anyway, so that's what is coming this week, and that's what happened last week. I appreciate anybody who takes the time to listen, and have a good rest of your week.